Family is still looking for answers in the death of their 22-year-old son. The family told First Coast News Jamie Johnson was in town with his cousins over the weekend and expected to be taking Christmas portraits with the family on Sunday. Johnson was shot and killed following a traffic stop Saturday in the 3000 block of Buckman Street. The family held a press conference this afternoon, and On Your Side's Nick Perot was there and joins us now with the latest.
Well, Jeannie, good evening. Civil rights attorney Lee Merritt flew into Jacksonville to represent the family because he said the circumstances of this case did not sit well with him.
At this point, we are still unclear about what exactly happened. I got on a plane and came to Jacksonville, Florida.
Today, Lee Merritt told media the state attorney's office told him Johnson was initially pulled over Saturday for a seatbelt violation.
While Officer Garriga was trying to gain control of him.
During a Saturday evening press conference, Chief of Investigations T.K. Waters told reporters Johnson pushed one of the officers while the two were walking back to their patrol car. Johnson then went back toward his car where a handgun was inside. Waters says a struggle followed between Johnson and Officer Jay Garriga. Soon after, Garriga fatally shot Johnson 4 times. The other officer did not fire, according to police. Both officers involved were wearing body cameras. However, it is unclear whether any video of the shooting itself was recorded.
It seems that the shooting officer's camera became dislodged during the course based on our conversation. And so those witnesses now become critically important.
Merritt says there is no dash camera footage available, and the state attorney's office added releasing the video that is available would not be released as it's an ongoing investigation and could jeopardize that investigation. Merritt is hoping this visit today will spark an independent investigation by the state attorney's office. His office is calling for an independent autopsy and will be bringing an expert in to recreate the scene. It's important to note there has not been a formal suit filed on behalf of Lee Merritt. In the newsroom, Nick Perot, First Coast News, on your side.